experience and no influence. And actually, the small social media presence that I did have was filled with tons of negativity and venting. I wasn't exactly what you would look at and think, oh wow, she's gonna be a diamond, or she's a model Plexus ambassador. I was actually that person that would make you cringe when you looked at their Facebook wall like, oh my gosh, what did she just post now? I was getting removed from the team pages because I didn't follow the rules, and I remember that, and I'm sure everybody else does too. I hit gold really quickly, but just as quickly as I hit gold, I lost all of those points. I hit rock bottom in my business, which was actually like a silver ambassador, and one of my people, who was my primary leg, she actually quit. Kind of quit, like was half in, half out. Basically quit, but she's a sapphire on my team now. But she told me afterwards that she didn't think that I had what it would take to lead her to the top. So for 2 years, I sat there at gold, and one day my sponsor, who was probably sick of me being negative, saying I didn't know what I was doing wrong, just told me she didn't know how to help me. And I sat there, and I was a little annoyed, actually. She gave me a list of books to read, and so they sat there in my Amazon account, and finally one day I just bought all of them. I ordered all of the dang books and decided to own the fact that the problem was actually me and my attitude. If the products were great and this business model was amazing and everybody else was ranking up and I wasn't, I realized that the problem, it had to be me. Like, I was the only factor in this. So I decided I was gonna fix myself. And from the time I was little, I had known that I could accomplish anything that I put my mind to. And once my mind was made up, there was absolutely nothing that was going to stop me, and I was going straight to the top. So I drew on that determination and made the choice to apply everything I was reading like my life depended on it. All of John Maxwell, The Magic of Thinking Big, Switch on Your Brain, all of the books, I was just reading like crazy. And speaking of crazy, my friends told me I was crazy, my family told me I was crazy, but they told me after the fact, after they became jewels on my team, that they would talk about me behind my back about how crazy I was. So to my face, they were telling me that I was wasting my life and precious time with my children. But you know what? Their negativity, it actually became a gift to me. Those things became my why. I remember going to bed hungry so my kids could eat. I remember one time looking in the bank account and there was only 10 cents in there, and a whole week until payday. I wanted more for our lives than that, and I knew that God had given me this opportunity, and I was going to do something with this. So that January of 2015, 2 years after I joined, I drew my line in the sand and said absolutely no more excuses. I watched all of my sidelines become jewels, and you know what? I wasn't jealous. I watched them all go to Maui. I was excited for them. I was inspired, and I decided I was going to do whatever they were doing. If they were successful, I was going to do what they were doing. So I watched all of their trainings and duplicated everything, and after putting in the work and trusting the process for 5 months, I re-hit gold, and 11 months later, I went diamond. I went to Hawaii my first year with 5 jewels on my team, 3 of which were level 1s, and my lack of success had been my own problem. I knew that, I owned that, and as long as I kept telling myself that I couldn't do it, guess what? I couldn't. But positive affirmations were one of the biggest changes for me. I took every single negative thought that came into my head and turned it into something positive. I guess those books actually worked. I repeated the thought process and all of the thoughts, just changing them every day until I started to believe them. I told myself that everyone wanted Plexus, that I had more than enough time to work my business and be the mom that I wanted to be. I told myself that I had the fastest growing team in Plexus, and I believed it. I treated them as if they were. Henry Ford said, whether you think you can or can't, you're right. So don't look at diamonds and think we have it all together, and that's why we're here, because it's not. I do not have everything together. Look at us and think, if she can do it, then I can do it. That is certainly true with me, and I have grown my business when everyone told me to quit, when they laughed at me, when no one believed in me. I've grown my business through challenging times like a pregnancy, having a newborn, homeschooling 5 kids, multiple moves, a divorce, remarriage, all of it. And there are so many things in our lives that can become obstacles, but only if you let them. or you can use that as fuel to push you forward, and that's what I did. I'm only standing here today because I decided to believe in me. And once I did that, strangely enough, others believed in me too. I want each and every one of you to believe in yourselves and your potential just as much as I did, if not more. You can stand on this stage as a diamond too, and it literally is just a choice. So the decision is yours.